Have you ever said to your kids, just whatever, just do whatever you want because you had too much going on? Well, that's your brain is doing that to you when you are distracted and multitasking and stressed out, and there is a cupcake in your face. It's going, whatever, just do whatever you want. I can't deal with this right now. So you don't like feeling that way. Your brain doesn't like feeling that way. Let's talk about how to not get your brain to the point that you get when you just let your kids do whatever they want. So psychologists have done a lot of research on this, and they have recently done a study where they tied your impulse control to how much working memory you have available. And working memory is like the tabs on the computer, right? It's the things that are open right now, the things that you're thinking about and consciously focused on right now. And even though your brain can do a lot of things, it can only have so many tabs open. It can only be doing so many things. Just like you, as a actual mortal human, can only do so many things at once. You can be talking on the phone and cooking dinner and doing all the things, and a kid comes in and they're like, ah. You're like, oh, whatever, just leave me alone, right? Your brain is doing that when you're on the phone and you're texting and you're emailing and you're working on computer stuff and you're thinking about problems for tomorrow that you have to deal with, and the conversation you're about to have with your boss, and then the conversation you have to have with your spouse later. And your brain has so many tabs open that when a decision has to be made that isn't one of those tabs, it takes the easiest way out, which means it's not following your new healthy lifestyle goals. It's going with what it knows. And what it knows is we like M&Ms. They're in front of us. We're going to shove them in our face. Plus that, when your brain is making all these decisions, it's running on glucose. What is glucose? Sugar, which means it's burning fuel. So what happens when you're making all these decisions and your brain is on overload? It says we need more fuel. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Not only does your brain not have the capacity to make this logical, healthy decision, but it also doesn't understand that you don't actually need those M&Ms to live, to survive. Yeah, so it's kind of tough, right? So now that you know that, think about your last time that you messed up, right? The last time that you gave into whatever the craving was. You poured the extra glass of wine, you had the ice cream, you skipped the gym. What else was going on? Were you possibly distracted? Were you possibly thinking about a million other things? I would bet you were. So if that has happened to you, or if it is happening currently, it's important to understand that it's not technically your fault, but it's your fault. It's your fault in that you haven't given your brain the opportunity to do what you've asked it to do, which is to make a healthy decision. So now that you understand, now that you can see the error of your ways, so to speak, it's time to make intentional choices. And it's time to give your brain the opportunity to make intentional choices, which means you got to slow your roll. You got to close a few tabs. You got to give yourself a fighting chance at doing what you actually really want to do. You don't want the candy. You don't want the wine. You don't want to sleep in. Well, maybe you want to sleep in. I always want to sleep in, but not if it goes against the goals that you have set and that you really want to achieve. You've got to give yourself the chance to do it. So here's how I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you close a couple tabs. You ready? I have this meal planning cheat sheet that I made a while back that helps you figure out exactly what you're going to eat every day of the week and helps you make a grocery list. Boom, done, easy. 2 tabs now closed, right? Because you know what to eat and you know what to buy. So now you can take the opportunity to take a deep breath, allow your brain to go, oh yeah, we actually don't want whatever that thing is. And you'll get a lot closer to your goals that way. So I'm going to put a link here for you to download that cheat sheet. And I really want you to take advantage of it. And I want you to also think about what other tabs you could be closing. What other tabs, what other things are you thinking about? Is your brain thinking about that you're asking it to do that is not allowing it to have the bandwidth to say no or yes to whatever the thing is that you need to say no or yes to?